Hello, I'm Chris Williams and welcome to my video blog for Wednesday the 3rd of November 2010.
From the Chris Williams portfolio of blogs, this is youtube.com/MrChrisOf2004 in association with the Kansas Tech on You eBid shop.
So yes, it was announced today here in the United Kingdom that students in the future will have to pay a maximum of £9,000 a year to go to university. A waste of money, if you ask me. I went to university, I was means tested, I had my fees paid for by the student loan company, rather by the council, you know what I mean, if you go through the system, and also I have to repay that back at a later time. £18,000, I believe, is my current debt. I'm in a bit of a dispute with my former university. I lobby for them to give me my money back, but that's not the topic of this blog. But I think I will feature, but I'm short of time, I will feature in this blog a bit of a repeat from one of my previous blogs, where a member of the public phoned up a radio programme and said that British universities are they're not true value for money, because they do not listen to student complaints. So I think I'll include that here.
Hello.
Hello, Jonathan. My point really is about the universities themselves, and I've spent a great deal of time working in higher education and some in further education. And I feel that the tuition fee issue is actually real to the 21st century, and we have to accept that students are going to have to pay for their education. But universities are not accountable enough for the amount of money that they have. And as Philip Green pointed out the other day, there's a huge amount of money wasted in the public sector, and not least of all in educational institutions. I mean, I remember standing next to a head of faculty watching a great big firework display put on for some, with respect, some slightly doddery group of alumni, and the head of faculty sighing deeply and telling me he could have employed a member of staff for the money it cost for that hellfire display.
I suppose you could say, I don't want to interrupt the thrust of what you're saying, but you could say that these so-called doddery alumni are those who've got some money in their back pocket which they might give to the university as a result of enjoying the fireworks display.
Yes, obviously that's a good point, but that's actually a very small point in terms of the universities having to be more accountable to their students for the services that they offer, and they are not accountable enough. And also, they do not lend themselves easily to student complaints. It's very difficult if you're a student, you've had a very unsatisfactory experience along with several others. It is very difficult to bring a university to book, extraordinarily difficult. And I think universities need to accept that the students are their customers, and they've had an awful lot of difficulty doing this. There's a lot of pompous hot air in some of these academic institutions, and people have forgotten that it's the students who pay their salaries.
Do you think that the impact of the increase in university fees, wherever it falls at different universities, will in fact have the effect of increasing that sense of, from your perspective, responsibility of universities towards students, because students are going to be much more shy like them?
You educate students to make them more accountable. It's a sort of circular argument, isn't it, that I'm engaging in? But it is the only way they will become more accountable. They are impenetrable. I have advocated for many students over the years trying to bring complaints, very valid complaints against universities, and it's an absolute marathon, because they seek to cover up, they hate bad publicity, they cover up their bad practices. And I think if, you talk realistically to an awful lot of people, they would be telling you the same story that I am.
But they also, when you look and observe universities recruiting students, they go out of their way to demonstrate why they are the best academically, why they are the best in terms of the social provision, cultural provision, etc.
Yes.
So they're clearly aware, aren't they, that that if they don't, or they clearly believe that if they don't deliver, then students will not choose them and will choose another university.
But with thousands of students going to one university, if you don't deliver to maybe 100 a year, those 100 a year are not going to be able to have their voice heard. And also, when you're 18, 19, 20, do you really have any idea of what these people should be offering you? You don't really. You've come from school, maybe done a gap year. You know, mature students are a key, I think, because mature students are much more aware of what they should be being offered. But I believe that in the public sector there is so much money thrown away, so little knowledge at the top of what goes on at the bottom, that that's where the government should be looking to make sure that the students are getting value for their money.
Thank you very much, Suzanne Fernside.
So yes, worthwhile thinking about whether or not going to university is going to be sensible for you, both financially and also for your well-being. I've read a lot on the internet today about some saying that the first year of university is a waste of money and that it's just a review of A-level material. I think my first year was my happiest year in university. It all went downhill then onwards, but I was bullied in my second and third year. Very impossible conditions for me to study in. But although I'm from a working class background, this £9,000 a year tuition fee cap won't really affect people from my background. I think there will still be means-tested student loans. People like me will still get the full student loan for accommodation, and we'll still have our courses paid for by the student loan company. As I said earlier, it goes through the in my day it went through the council. The council has their sort of student finance department, and they assess it. But I understand that in England there is a slightly different system. I'm blogging from Wales, of course, but if it's too expensive for you to study astrophysics in university, why not visit my written blog, astrophysicschris.blogspot.com. I know I'm working on it at the moment. It's a bit of a building site. If you go there now, you won't find a great deal, but do check it out. I plan with my free time now that I've finished my studies and I'm unemployed but there's no work available. I'm going to put my energies into my Astrophysics Chris blog, where I'm going to be blogging about how enthusiastic I am about astrophysics, and I'm going to use it as an opportunity to share with those of you who haven't been to university the type of material that you'd find in a university astrophysics course. You won't get a degree from reading my blog, but I hope you will get enjoyment and you'll be fascinated by the mathematical proofs that I will be displaying on the screen. Not plagiarized from anything, of course. No, I'm going to write out in my own writing the particular equations and workings. Of course, the books that I'll be reading will give me some ideas as to what the solutions are. So it's not going to be all my handiwork, so to speak, but it's going to be an illustration to you as to how wonderful astrophysics is. Okay, that's all I wish to say in this video blog. Do join for more videos over the next few days, weeks and months. I tend to blog on a daily basis. Recently, I've been too depressed to do some blogging, but I hope that I will snap up my depression and I will return to the blogging scene more frequently rather soon. I blog to build my confidence. I've started to feel more confident with this blog, so I feel like doing another blog immediately. So firstly, my depression episode is over because it was raining today, so that didn't help with my depression. Okay, thanks for your time, and until next time, it's bye for now. Bye bye, and do remember to check out astrophysicschris.blogspot.com and also musingsofchriswims.blogspot.com and other mechanisms for which you can find me on the internet, which are about to appear on the screen in a moment. Okay, until next time, it's bye for now. Bye bye.